Hello and welcome to day 3 of our local history week here at Monaghan County Libraries, and today we're going to look at Griffiths Valuations, and we're also going to have a look at the tithe allotments, so keeping the two land records together. So to find the links for those, again, go to our homepage monaghan.ie/library, click down until you can see the genealogy local history, and that'll bring you straight to our local history page. And you'll find the links for both Griffiths Valuation and tithe allotments here. So we're going to go with Griffiths Valuations first. And this will bring you to the Ask About Ireland website, where the information has been uploaded free of charge. So Griffiths Valuation was a property tax survey that was carried out in the 1860s. It was carried out across County Monaghan in 1861, if you're looking for a specific year. And basically what it was a tax survey looking at every taxable piece of agriculture or built property in the county or across the country. And the inspectors would decide its net annual value, and then a rate of tax was listed as a percentage to the pound. So it could have been 3 pennies to the pound, for example. And tenants with a land valued at less than £5 were exempt from the tax, but the landlords would have to pay the tax on their behalf. So it's believed that this is what led to the wave of evictions in the 1860s, 1870s, because the landlords didn't want to pay the tax on behalf of their tenants. So they got rid of all the smaller tenants in favour of the larger ones. So it's very simple to use. Again, you can see from looking at it here, it's a straightforward search. So again, choose your family name. So if we go for Connolly, choose a first name, choose Michael because it's here, and then your county. So even looking through the counties, it gives you an indication of how old these records are. You know, you have King's County here, which was Offaly, you have Queen's County listed, which was Laois. So we're going to go for Monaghan today. And then you have the options to fill in barony, union or parish. Now barony, as you can see here, was it was a division in Ireland, but it dates back to Norman times. So each county had an average between 7 and 10 baronies, and they varied in size from one county to the other. Now they're no longer used as a unit for land or government. Then you have the unions as well. Again, this was an administration unit under the poor law system in 1838. Initially, the country was divided into 130 unions, and then these were adjusted to create smaller sizes, so that by the 1850s there were 163. Again, unions aren't used in civil records or anything like that anymore, but if you want to have a click into it, you'll see the unions that there were in Monaghan at that stage. And then for parish, you have all your parishes listed there. But again, going back to what I said the previous days, the spellings are very different in some cases to what we're used to today. So you can see there things like T-Davnet and T-Holland. Very different, T-Holland especially, very different spelling, but choose the one that you're looking for. If you don't know what parish they were in, you can just leave that blank as well. So what we can just do in this case is look for Michael Connolly in County Monaghan and see what we come up with. Our search results show then that there were 39 Michael Connollys living in County Monaghan at the time of the valuations, which was 1861. So they have been transcribed here. You can see straight away the occupier's surname, the occupier's forename, the county, the parish, and then if we click into details here, it will just give us more details on the landlord, which we can see was Peter Brennan, and then the exact location of the premises. You've also got corresponding details of the Griffiths valuation maps. So you can see it gives you the sheet numbers that they're on, the map reference, things like that. And if our technology was working right today, we could actually go and view those maps here. Unfortunately, they're not loading for me, so I can't show you that. I'm just not sure if that's a problem with the website today or if it's a problem with my internet connection, but that's something you might want to look at yourself. So you can see it's clearly labelled there where you would be able to view them. So just click into smaller pop-up version, or the bigger version will open it in a new tab for you. And then to see the original page, again, it just gives you some size options here. These are scanned copies of the books that we would have always held in the library. So previously you would have had to come to one of the branch libraries, look through the books to find this information, but they have all been digitised now and scanned in, so you can view this from home. So the Michael Connolly that we were looking at you can see if we zoom in here, he was listed as being in Drumgina. So here we have it here, Michael Connolly, and the landlord was Peter Brennan, and he had a house. And if you just scroll over, then you'll see the value on the house, the net annual value. So as you can see there, you're not getting a huge amount of genealogical information from that. You are just literally getting the head of the household and the person who they were renting the land off. So you're not getting anybody else that lived in the house or any other family members. But it is just useful if you want to confirm that that's where your family was living at a particular period of time. So it is quite basic in what you can gain from it, but again, quite easy to use. So if we want to go back and do another search. Now, because the Griffiths has been fully digitised, it's doing a full text search. So if we typed in a name such as Shirley, who we know was a big landowner around County Monaghan at the time, if we just do that and leave it at Monaghan, leave all the Barron Union Parish free and just do a search, it'll bring us back. You can see there are 2,215 results. But if we go into those a wee bit more, you can see there that it's bringing Shirley up as the landlord. So that might be useful just if you had an interest in local history and you want to learn a wee bit more about the landowners and what lands that they had at that stage. You might want to just do a wee bit of browsing around that. Another thing you can do then is, rather than searching by name, you can search by place. So you can see here in this top menu, if we click on Griffiths Places, you could just have a wee nosy and see who was living in your townland at the time. So if we type in here, Sheepdrum, and search for County Monaghan. Again, these records cover the whole country, so I'm just focusing on Monaghan today, but you know, if your family's from another part of the world or another part of the country, just change your county to whatever. And if we do a search, then we can see there's 4 different sheepdrums coming up. And if we were particularly interested in this sheepdrum in Clontibbert Parish, we can click on the occupants and see who was living in the area at the time. So there's 14 results coming back there. Again, if you go in and view the details of the record, you'll see who the landowner was at the time as well. So this was Montgomery. So similar to the census, it's just a case of going in, playing around with it, and hopefully you will have access to the map views. They're still not working for me there, but they are a great resource whenever they are available. So just do keep checking in on those. So that is Griffiths Valuation. We go now and have a look at the tithe allotments. To get to the tithe allotments, then if you go back to our library local history homepage, you will find the link for the tithe allotments just halfway down there. So you can see here we have the tithe allotment books from 1823 to 1837. So the tithe allotment books, the tithe records were taken in pre-famine periods, so from 1823 to 1837, and tithes were only collected from occupiers of land over 1 acre, and they were paid to the church at the time, so the Church of Ireland. Tithes were only payable on agricultural land, so there are no urban areas included in this, so just to be aware of that. And any of the tithe records from Northern Ireland counties are held in the Prony offices in Northern Ireland as well, so just to bear that in mind. So again, it's a very simple search. If you click over here, just click to search, and it's looking for very basic information: surname, form name, county, parish, townland. So again, we will go for trainer. James, and we look for County Monaghan. So you can see we've got 13 James trainers here in County Monaghan. Again, very similar to the Griffiths valuation, that you're only getting the head of the household. So not a brilliant genealogy source for extended family, but again, to confirm who your ancestors were at the time, it's useful. So for more information then, we can just click into this one, into the record, and it gives you a copy of the original record. So you can just use your computer's zoom function to get a closer look. Now you will find some of the records, especially for Tithes Parish, actually are almost illegible. So this one is quite good, but you may find that some of them have been just between time and whatever, they just haven't remained as good a quality as you might like. So because these have been scanned in as PDFs, if you hover over your page, you should get the menu up here. So you can print these documents, or what we done yesterday was we could download them to your own computer and save them into a family history folder. So it just means, again, you have everything all in the one folder on your own computer, rather than going back and searching in the same townland or the same people every time you want to view the record again. So again, to do that, just click on it. You can rename it whatever you want. So this is for Derry, and it's Tithe. So we can just save that into our family history folder, and then it's there for the next time we want to view it. So that is the Tithe allotments. As I say, very basic, but really just to confirm where your ancestors were living at that time. As I said, very little other genealogical information available from it. The only thing to note maybe is, because it was head of the households, you could assume that the person listed is at least 30 years of age roughly. So you could go back then working from that to birth dates and things like that. But really, if you've got back to the 1830s with tithe allotments and take another 30 years off it, you're talking somebody born in the 1800s, where you're really at the end of the any kind of official records there at that stage. So that's it. That's the Griffiths valuation and tithe allotments. We'll be back tomorrow and we will have a look through the Index 2 obituaries and maybe some of the civil records as well. So we'll chat to you then.